Oh, hey, sorry. I forgot you were on. Well, that's lame. All right, so my name is Jason. I'm owner of J&J Studio. I'm a photographer, videographer, content creator, I guess. I've always had a focus of creating marketing content for my clients. I worked with a lot of different brands, from local also to high-end. I've worked with companies such as Lexus, Red Bull, HP, and many other ones, and then as well as local companies here in Texas. My favorite thing to do is to shoot content. I love taking photos. I love shooting video. That's something that I've been able to effectively do on both areas. Because of COVID-19, I figured, well, why not go ahead and get my YouTube up to game. So here we are today. So that's just a quick intro of myself. Now, what I like to do for kind of my, not first, but kind of first video like this is just do a quick review of one of my favorite pieces of equipment that I use right now for shooting photos and shooting video. So let's do it. All right, so my favorite piece of equipment that I personally own right now is actually this Fuji X-T3. And I know what you're saying, a Fuji? Come on, what's wrong with you? Fuji makes amazing quality cameras. If Fuji ever jumps onto the full frame or even cinema camera market, they will destroy the market. Fuji's technology is right up there with so many other camera companies, and no other camera under $3,000 can touch what this camera can do. And this camera is $1,300. These are basically throwaway cameras almost. They're the same price ranges as like your Canon Rebels back in the day, and the T3s and T5s and all that junk. This is an amazing quality camera. As far as specs, it shoots over 26 megapixels per image, shoots 4K at 60 frames per second, which very few cameras can do, 60 frames per second at 4K. 120 frames per second at 1080, though it does have a 5-minute limit on there. The color science, you know, that's always kind of the big thing with cameras, especially right now, is everyone's obsessed with color science. And it is true, it makes a huge difference going from Sony to Canon to all these other companies. Everyone has their own style of coloring. Canon, to me, is one of the best out there. Outside of jumping to like an RE or a Red, you cannot go wrong with anything shot with Canon. It just looks beautiful. Fuji's right there. They may even surpass it in other areas too. Plus, the neatest thing shooting with Fuji is the fact that you can so easily blend between Fuji and Canon, or Fuji and Sony, or Fuji and Panasonic, whatever you may be shooting with. It's so easy to do a few little corrections, and you almost can't even tell the difference between the two types of footage there. There are so many different things to love about this camera, from the coloring on it, even the low light capabilities is pretty impressive for a compact frame sensor, but also just the functionality of it. You know, on the top here you have your shutter speed control. On the other side you have your ISO control. Your f-stop is controlled here on the lens, which is pretty sweet. So you're not like trying to roam around and trying to like, where's my thumb do? What does my finger do? You still have controls in the front for your finger, as well as the back for your thumb. But everything's just right here, and it's so easy. I need to increase my ISO, boom. I need to change my f-stop, boom, it's done. Fuji really hit the mark making these cameras. Now, the reason I still use an X-T3 as opposed to an X-T4, I didn't really see the value in getting an X-T4 when I already had an X-T3, because the primary only difference between the two cameras is in-body stabilization. And anytime I'm shooting something, I have it on a gimbal, so it wasn't really a needed thing, as well as all the lenses I use are stabilized as well, so it works. Now, whatever Fuji may have in the plan for the near future, I'm pretty sure I'll be right there on board, but for right now, this is definitely my go-to favorite camera. One of the neat things about Fuji too is that they do very well with using alternate lenses. So what I mean by that is putting on a lens adapter to go from this X mount to an EF. Almost all of my EF lenses work phenomenally on it. You know, I always thought Sony really had that particular market down, but Fuji's right there. A couple of the EF mount lenses I constantly use on this is the 35 f2, as well as Sigma's 24 to 105, just because of flexibility there, and it pretty much covers all your bases there. But then as well as even Canon's 85 1.8 and their 50s work work amazingly on this camera when using the X to EF mount. And I've had so many different cameras from Canon, and I originally started off shooting with Canon with the 5Ds and 5D Mark IIs and all that stuff. I still have a Mark IV and a 6D, but my favorite, honestly, go-to walk-around camera, throw on my gimbal, because I mean, it's just so light. It's so light. It's so easy to use. It's so user-friendly. This Fuji X-T3, it is by far my favorite camera, the Fuji X-T3. So if you're in the market to try and get a new camera, or even you're thinking about switching brands and trying to step up your game to something that is more up-to-date and has better capabilities than pretty much anything else out there on the market, go to Fuji. Sorry for rambling on. Fuji X-T3, buy one, you will not regret it. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed that somewhat. This will only get better from here on out. I mean, that's what they tell me. The first one's always the hardest. So anyway, appreciate it, guys. Be sure to subscribe. We're gonna try and release more of these videos on a constant basis. If there's anything you have questions about regarding camera equipment, technology, life, feel free to drop it in the comments, and I'll be sure to make a YouTube video about it. So appreciate it, guys. Catch you later.